Okay, on my last trip here, from my last trip, coming from Ghana in December of 2016. So for the month of December and January, this was my this was my my life. Oh, and I have one more left here. I guess I have one more left for when my husband do arrive. I think this might be the positive one or the good luck charm. Wow, I never even knew I had one left. Wow. Okay, but I'm just gonna like lay these out. Y'all can see. And this is just the ones that I kept. There's others that I threw away, and then I realized after a while I was like, no, I should keep them. So this was the very first one that I took, that one that had a slight positive, and then this second one that had a slight positive. Now these are like many months ago, right? Because this is August and this was from like December of, this was right when I came back from Ghana, like within 2 days of coming back, this one and this one. And I always like to switch up. Like if I use this brand, I will buy this brand and then I will buy this brand as well. The digital ones I don't like. Clear blue digital, I don't really like those. So here's the story on this. It's a very sad moment in my life. As bad as I don't want to have any children anymore, I've already given birth to boys. I have a 7-year-old son and I have a 21-year-old that's about to be 22, and my 7 is about to be 8. And I in myself, I'm done. I am finished with having children. However, I married a man that's about 6 to 7 years younger than I am, and he has no children. So out of love for him, I will put myself aside on this one. And if anybody knows me, know how much I am against having children in these days. Is too difficult. Life in itself right now, the times that we're living in, is too dreadful. I wouldn't want to bring any child into this hellhole misery. I'm already convinced that we're living in hell. So why would I want to bring a life into this hellhole? Most people are trying to commit suicide to get out of here. But suicide is a thing that I say no to. No, try, hold on for another day. And then when you pass that day, hold on for another day. Okay, besides that, my thing is that I do not want to bring any life into this hellhole that we living in. But my husband wants it so bad. And no matter how much I try to show him my belief and how I feel about not bringing any children, he's not having it. He doesn't have one. And then I understand when you fall in love with someone, you want to see what your child would look like with that person. I feel him on that. And that's how, one of the ways I can tell he loves me for real. I know I have faced the scrutinizing of friends and family that says, oh, he just wanna get you pregnant to get you tied up, and that might be true. It might be, it might not be. But what I know is true is this man is in love. And he wants to see what his child would look like with the woman that he loves, he fell in love with. And thank God that's me. Because, boy, that man light my fire. Yeah, boy, drove me crazy like this when I first came back from Ghana. So here's the sad story now, though. Every time I go there, I get pregnant and I would lose it. It's been 7 years now. I'm here in America. My biological clock is ticking. I'm getting older. As I get older, my eggs, they're not as strong and vibrant and full of energy like they they were when I was in my 20s or 30s, you know? So here my husband is like 35 years old and he wants a child. I don't want it, but I will try to give it to him. How can I try to even give it to him when he's still not here and my eggs are getting weaker? It's sad there. Every time I get pregnant, I would lose it and I didn't know exactly why. My doctor told me I need to lose at least 30 to 50 pounds. I'm 212 pounds now and was still even back then when my doctor told me this. This was about 7 months ago. And then even before I went to Ghana as well, I know she's always saying I need to lose weight. Of course I need to lose weight. I am not comfortable at 212 pounds, but this is part of the thing that I deal with. I keep this weight on me when I'm not with my husband. As soon as I get to Ghana, within 2 weeks, I change drastically. My looks, my weight, everything come down. And one girl at the doctor's office said to me once, we were talking. We always talk when I go there and see her. She wanted to see my husband, what he looks like. So I got my cell phone and I showed her some of our wedding pictures, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're beautiful. He doesn't deserve you. You know he doesn't deserve you, right? You know that, right?" And I kept ignoring her saying that, but she kept saying it until like the fourth time she grabbed my hand and she put her face into my face and she's like, "You know he doesn't deserve you, right? You're too beautiful. You're beautiful for him." And I'm like, "Honey, I'm only beautiful when I'm with him. You do you see me beautiful now? No. I'm not beautiful now. I am not beautiful with him. That man looked good on me. And I look good on him too." So anyhow, the pregnancy situation. In December, I was pregnant. I, I, s- I felt it. We both felt it. I got it not, it's not a dream. It was something happened while I was there with him. It was like we were both sleeping and I was in like a lucid type of dream situation. I wasn't really sleeping, but like this lady, this auntie type of woman was in the room and she's looking over both of us. She's standing up tall and she's looking down at both of us in the bed, and she said, "Look at him. Look, he made her pregnant." Like that. And this is what I kind of dreamt, and not really a dream because I wasn't really sleeping, but it's one of those lucid things. So anyhow, I was like, wow, you know, if I'm pregnant, I accept it. So when I got on the plane that day, we got to the airport. My husband and I was out of it. We were both so tired. We're leaning on each other like we could barely make it. Like we were exhausted. And the truth of the matter is, one of the reasons why we were exhausted, we said we were gonna, we were gonna, can I say it? Oh, I can't say it. Can I say it? But we're grown people now, and I hope there's no kids watching this. If there's any children watching, please, this is for adults only, okay? Because my language is for adults only. So cut it right now. Don't even continue to watch me, please. No children, 18 or older, 16 maybe. So before I got there, it had been 2 years since my husband and I never got to touch. So we will always joke and say when we get to be with each other, we're gonna fuck ourselves to death. We're gonna fuck ourselves to, yeah. And we did. And so we had only 2 weeks to do it. And we tried, we drank a lot of water, and we had a lot of good love making and a lot of sex. And so at the end of 14 days, we were both tired as hell because it was like 24 hours. I never seen nothing like that in my life. I never experienced nothing like that. But we had a lot of catching up to do. I mean, it was 2 years we hadn't been with each other, so we only had 2 weeks to try and do everything. So that man, my husband, when I back up and came home and realized he dumped himself, everything in him, in me. And it is a beautiful thing. And I was pregnant, and I got on the plane, and I couldn't keep the moment I got on the plane and sat down, y'all, I was like, in 5 minutes I was sleeping the whole time. It was a 9-hour plane ride, and the whole time I'm sleeping. And there is a God. I believe in divine intervention and grace and mercy. God so have it that a Ghanaian man, big guy, I never asked him his name and I never really saw his face, but an angel he was to me. He sat beside me. He and I, it was just two seats. I had the window seat in the airplane there, and he had the aisle seat. He's sitting beside me. Nothing but the mercy of God. That man took care of me. I needed somebody to take care of me. I was so tired and out of it. And with a new baby trying to develop there, it never got to the stage of being a baby because it was just the sperm that met the egg, and then it's traveling and trying to do the attachment where it has to attach, it has to travel through the fallopian tube and get to the right place. It couldn't attach. I'm gonna tell you guys about that, if anybody can bear with me through the story till I get to that part, because it's so interesting and what I have also learned. So anyhow, this angelic being of a man that was also Ghanaian sitting next to me on the airplane, and he took care of me. When it was time to eat, I was asleep. He would, you know, nudge me a little bit like this to say, hey, and I'll wake up, and he opened my soda for me. He opened my tray to make sure when the food came, I had my food was there. And oh, every time it was time to eat, I am sleeping and I don't know. But this man would make sure he took care of me. And I was just like, God, because it, I was hungry, but I was so exhausted too. I just couldn't keep my eyes up. My arm was like this. I was just like, it was something different. So I got home to Florida in the night. It was like my 2 a.m. Got in the taxi cab, came home, got right to my bedroom. No shower. And this was a 2-day travel. It was 2 days of traveling. And I could just flop in my bed. And I slept till the next day. I slept all day that day. I remember I just got up just to shower, eat a little bit, and went back to sleep. A little eating. I couldn't eat much. And my stomach was cramping. It felt like a war was going on in my lower abdomen. I was in my bed crunched up like, oh, I was crying, calling for my husband. Like, oh my God, like it felt like I was having a miscarriage. It felt like something was falling out. But I didn't take it that way. At that time, I just was like, okay, it's the baby trying to develop. It's a pregnancy. But the cramping was like so much that I said I have to go to the doctor. And within 3 days after coming back from Ghana, I went to see the gynecologist. But I did take the two home pregnancy tests that had a faint positive. So I got excited with the faint positive, and I contact my husband, and I'm taking pictures showing him that, look, it's faint, but it's there, but maybe it's not really showing up so strongly yet because it's still too early. So maybe about I got to see the doctor maybe 5 days or so after coming back from Ghana, and took the pregnancy test at the doctor's office, says negative. So then I'm like, I feel so pregnant, and I was jumping from doctor to doc, taking all kinds of tests. They running, taking my blood, checking everything, checking for, maybe I had a IT. Maybe I had a urinary tract infection that was causing the cramping. No, it wasn't that. My cholesterol was fine. My heart. They even give me a EKG. My heart was fine. Everything was fine, and the cramping took place for a week. And in that week, even when I was at work, in my vision, at nighttime when I lay down, I would put my hand there because I would feel this fluttering. It would be fluttering like, I feel this fluttering like butterflies down there. You feel it strongly, and it would keep me up at night. It would bother me. So I would put my hand there on it and press on my lower abdomen, and I would talk to this baby, and I would say, calm down, it's okay, I'm here with you, I'm here with you. And it would calm down, and then I could sleep, and I would have to sleep with my hand right there just to get some sleep. It would, I find when I move my hand and roll over, it'll bother me, so I will have to just put my hand there. So for a few nights, I bonded with the trying the what I embraced. It didn't even get to be that. I don't know what to call it because it never got to be a baby. It's just the connection with the sperm and the egg, and it's traveling, and it's constantly trying to attach itself to my womb. And this is when I saw in myself, I saw inside my very body, and I saw that little thing fighting for life, fighting like hell. It was fighting, 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 trying to come to life inside there, just trying to, and it couldn't attach, and so it died. And I had my period, and I went to the doctor after I felt it when it was no more. I remember laying in my bed, and I was like, I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel the fluttering. I'm like, oh my God, you died. It's not there anymore. It died. I was aware. I was very much aware. And that hurted me because I felt this little life in me struggling to come. It tried so hard. It tried so hard. And because it wanted to exist so badly. And I know that's coming from my husband's energy, it's coming from his blood. It was like it's him that's fighting for this to be. And because I felt that, and I knew that, I was aware of that, I gave a hand. I'm this person, I believe in the helping hand. And so I put my hand there, and I gave my help and helping this thing to try to come to life, and we didn't make it. So it's like we didn't make it. That was so hurtful for me, and even more hurtful the day I finally got it from one results, when the doctor Anna, in the 1111 building. How about that, right? She's in the 1111 building in room 2, and her name is Anna. That's my doctor. I'm an 1111er. My birthday is 2/11, and my name is Anna. So, she, went inside and she did her thing, and she's like, definitely no, you are not pregnant. And when I contact my husband that day, I was walking down the street, and I said, he's like, okay, what's the news? But he was like, he already knew. So he already had a nasty attitude. And once I told him, he just phoned off. And I'm like, yo, he hang up on me. I'm walking down the street crying, and I'm like, he just fucking hang up on me. I call him back. He didn't answer. He didn't answer. So I call him back. He didn't answer. So I'm like, oh my fucking God. Double hurt, It's like, now I'm hurting. I need you. And you getting an attitude, and you're gone. Like, what is this? So I ended up calling another a sister of mine that she's also married to a Ghanaian, and she lived in another state far from me. But I called her up. I needed somebody, and I needed somebody that I could relate, because she's also in a similar situation, very similar, you know. So she spent some time with me and helped me through that difficult time right there. And then, like 2 days later or so, when I'm talking to my husband, he's expressing his hurt and his pain, and I can see it and I can feel it, but I couldn't really understand, like, how. Okay, so we're both hurting. That was hurtful for me. He should have been there on the phone with me. That's just how I felt at that time. Well, it took months later, I kind of understood his actions, because he's that type of person. When he's hurt, he goes away. He pull into himself, and he goes under a rock and stay there for a couple days. That's how he do. So that's my hurtful story on the little life. And it always remind me of the dream that I had before I got to Ghana. Like a couple of months before I got to Ghana, I had a dream that I had a brand new broom. And the broom, it was a straw broom, very well made, very strong, beautiful straw broom, was still covered in the plastic wrapping and everything. And I was going traveling to Ghana, and I was taking this broom with me. And someone tried to use it here in the house before I left. This is just a dream. And I was so protective, and I was so, no, no, no. This broom is special, and I'm taking it to Ghana. I'm taking it to my husband. Don't use this broom. And I was traveling with this brand new broom in the package. When we got to the plane, it was like, I had to put the broom down, and I was like, no, that broom is too special to touch the ground. Like, it shouldn't even touch the ground. And I remember people looking at me strange, like, what the fuck she's talking about? It's a broom. That's what brooms are made for. Brooms are made to touch the ground. To sweep the ground. And here she is with this brand new broom. I don't want the broom to touch the ground. But in that dream, the whole concept was that the broom was not supposed to touch the ground, not yet, not until it reaches where it's supposed to go. And then my husband can unravel it. He can take the wrapping off and let the broom do what it was meant to do. That was, I don't know why I was doing that in a dream, but I had a brand new broom on a plane, and the broom wasn't supposed to touch the ground. That was the dream I had before I got to Ghana. So once everything happened, and I reflect back on the fact that I was sitting on the plane with this brand new life in me, trying to come a precious, precious thing, because that's way beyond precious when you have a twin flame union that's able to be husband and wife, and they're able to procreate the earth in such a way. Love conquers all, and without love there is no life. So such a precious brand new love being created is very precious. So maybe that's what the dream about the broom was. So once again, I have one left. Maybe my husband can get here soon, and that will be the lucky one.